Patrons, subscribers, fans, followers from around the world, welcome to the IR4 podcast with this week's exclusive interview. Today, we're chatting with Amin, one of the lead project managers and associates and owners and co-founders of what is referred to as the CryptalDash exchange. Here's their website right here, and it's the first integrated cryptocurrency exchange, the world's first. Very big claim. So Brian and myself, we're going to be interviewing him. We're going to be asking him questions. We're going to be diving in, figuring out where he thinks regulatory standards might go, asking him questions about the overall industry, asking him what his thoughts are on Bitcoin into the future, and really just learning from other entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and market movers in this particular space. Let's dive in. Perfect. So Amin, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. How'd you get started in this environment, this creating an exchange? I mean, that's a huge project.
Yeah, it's totally a challenging environment. I basically got into this. My background is in finance, and I used to be a sales trader, and I got into this because, and I also was a broker. I got into this because I was basically looking for a new asset class. Okay. And then as I got interested into the crypto space, I found that this asset class is to be built. So there was a fundamental environment and ecosystem around it, but there is so much to do in it to be treated like an actual legitimate asset class.
Right.
And so this is how I got into this, really. So this was the broad idea. And then as I got into this, I started, meeting people that are in this ecosystem and meeting people that are involved in various projects and are involved in various stakeholders of the ecosystem. And, and then that's how you get into this thing is addictive, man. I mean, the crypto space and the and the blockchain environment is it's a viral addictive environment. So and I think if you couple effort with addiction, you can achieve good things.
That's right. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. I'm going to pull up your webpage here. So CryptalDash, how'd you come up with that name? What does that mean? What's its significance?
So crypto is crypto capital. Okay. And dash comes from dashboard because we wanted really to be like kind of a crypto capital dashboard. This was the base idea. And then while making the idea, and this is what's cool about, being an entrepreneur, is that nothing is engraved and everything is moving. Entrepreneurship is like a stochastic function, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing static in it. So I got a lot of support from the Dash community, and that was good. But I mean, they didn't sponsor anything, but I got like direct support from the a bunch of guys that were initiators of Dash and that, etc. So they support me a lot, and I'm like, this is a coincidence, because Dash is in the actual name of CryptalDash, which wasn't meant to be that.
Right.
So yeah. So this is kind of the story behind the name. But beyond, go ahead. You want to drive this, or you want me to keep talking? Because I'm a storyteller, you see.
I love it. I think Brian has a question. Brian, what's your question? You look like you have
Totally.
Yeah, so I just, want to learn. There's a lot of people out here doing this and trying to be at the forefront of exchanges and, being compliant. I like the fact that you guys have a lot of content on the website. Jeremy, can you scroll down a little bit?
Yep.
Where it shows competition, affiliate programs, partnerships, events, masternodes, airdrops, like all of that's great. I think incorporating with exchanges because you're helping teach people what these different facets are, which especially if you're new to crypto, you're like, what the hell's an airdrop or what's a masternode? And it can take a while to learn all of that. Obviously, us three, it took us years of just going out there and reading forums and talking with people to understand what they are. I really want to dive into the compliance side of things. Where are you guys domiciled? Are you allowing U.S. participation? What do you believe are commodity coins versus security coins, etc.?
Sure, sure, sure. And I really like how this is evolving, because right now, to ask the right questions and to be, very effective on your exploration of any matter that is in this ecosystem, you start with regulation. And I think that's a great starting point. So CryptalDash, coming from an institutional environment, I believed from day one that regulation is a must, because that's how you integrate to the real economy. Okay. So for us, that's important. So as the regulation stands today, we're doing a varieties of efforts in order to comply with the varieties of regulations out there, because we're meant to be an international platform. So we need to be able to onboard people internationally with absolutely no issues. Okay.
Okay.
So so we're complying right now with what we see is the clearest regulation out there, which is the Gibraltar. But that's just the base of our regulatory effort. As an exchange, we want to be regulated to as many regulations as possible. But as long as those regulations are clear.
So you're a truly centralized group. Then you're not a decentralized exchange such as BitShares or anything like that, correct?
No, okay. So decentralization means a specific thing in the exchange business.
Right.
So today, decentralization does not yet offer the level of performance that is required of an exchange.
Well, I mean, you have the Waves platform and you have BitShares, which seem to do the job if you take your time to get to learn, the ins and outs of the exchange. It's obviously not as user friendly as yours, but I mean, they're out there and people can use them.
Oh, surely. But I mean, converting people, I mean, the market will definitely move that way also. I mean, decentralized exchange just will serve a purpose. Okay.
Right.
The purpose that CryptalDash today serves is a purpose of attracting new institutional investors into the crypto environment. So I want to be as familiar to them as possible.
Interesting. Okay. So institutional. So is that kind of like your main focus?
Well, I mean, I come from that world, so it would be stupid to go after something else. I mean, I've been selling to traders all my freaking life. So why would I go do something else? There are some other guys that are able to do stuff that is, that is retail based. And I mean, I think retail will not be a big component of CryptalDash.
Right.
I mean, you have very good players today in the market. So, but the problem is that most of those players that can compete with us on the institutional side do not pass the fit and proper test.
So,
and that's a must in institutional world. As you know, you're asking about regulation. That's number one regulation is fit and proper.
Right. So, and I see another fault with the decentralized exchanges is the fact that you need gateways onto and off of those exchanges, which are just people sitting in their basement and all they're doing is processing withdrawals and deposits through that exchange, which can be a nightmare. And you're putting a lot of faith into that gateway keeper to get out of that decentralized exchange. Because as we know, on BitShares, everything is represented. It's not a true Bitcoin. It's a representation of that Bitcoin on that exchange. So I think that's going to be a big pain point with the decentralized exchanges. Now, are you guys performing OTC services right now? Or, I mean, how do you sign one up, and what's your market share right now as far as institutions go? Because I know a lot of them are working on their own exchanges.
Okay, so today, I can give you numbers later, okay? But let me talk to you about the proportion and what we're doing today. We launched a month ago. We've been selling to institutions probably for about 4 months, okay? Let's put this stuff in perspective, all right? So today we are onboarding a lot of institutions. And as you know, onboarding process at an institutional level is a very, very slow process.
Yep.
I mean, to be onboarded with an institution, an investment bank, or any type of institution with a license or a depository license or a banking license, you need lengthiness of time, because they need to process a bunch of things, etc., etc., etc. So onboarding process in this type of market segment takes a lot of time. So we are expecting to have the first few impacts of those institutions on our exchange probably within a 2 months to 3 months period from now. Okay, just because when we integrate an institution, when we onboard an institution, we need to integrate their trading platform as well into our system. Okay,
Right.
so when there is also technological onboarding, because you don't want the trader that is managing that desk playing around in your exchange and missing out orders and yelling at you at the end of the day. You don't want to lose that institution. So
Yeah.
so it's very important that the systems are well integrated, the orders are executed in time, and there is very low latency in terms of execution. And that's what we focus on.
Yeah,
So,
that's going to be the key.
So are you guys a registered broker-dealer, or are you an ATS, or what's the compliance framework here in the United States?
So no, we're not. We have absolutely no framework in terms of compliance in the United States, because the law regarding what we do is unclear. People today, what they do is that they apply for a random license, but doesn't mean that that license applies to the activity that they do. Okay, so as long as when we're going to apply for a license when the United States declares crypto as a financial instrument, or as a financial asset. If it's treated as a financial asset, then we'll apply for the license. If there is a special license for crypto, we'll apply for that as well. But
well, yeah,
we need to know exactly what's the treatment. We cannot. I'm sorry. Can I? We cannot today take a posture where we have a preventatory stand towards regulation. We need to comply to regulation when it exists.
Yeah, well, I mean, based upon what Chairman Clayton has said, they're not going to be creating any new type of licensure or asset class. These things are being viewed as either a commodity or a security, and all of that regulation is already in place. And simply, I mean, trading commodities is not a hard thing to do or to create, but trading securities is where you're going to run into that long process of being compliant.
Exactly. So if that is starting to get clear, then we'll get on with whatever license is required in the US. Because we are in the business of acting as a licensed organization.
So are you located in the United States?
No. So if now that you tell me that and now that we feel that there is a sentiment in the market where the clear cuts start to be made, then we'll invest resources, into getting the licenses.
Yeah, I mean,
because for us the US, because for us the US market is a very important market.
Yeah, of course. So I think Brian was just saying, where are you physically located? I'm in.
Oh, in Gibraltar. I'm sorry. Okay, you want to know physical location? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
obviously we know that the institution market, a majority of them are going to be here in the United States. So I understand the importance of getting here on board. So can we move into how did you guys bootstrap this project? Was it self-funded? Did you guys do an ICO or any type of capital raise?
Yeah, we did an ICO. We raised a fair bit of money, which is more than enough to run the exchange. I mean, we raised $15 million. It's more than enough to do all the licensing and to do all the to build the project. I mean, when I see some ICOs raising so much money and not building anything, I laugh, because I mean, $15 million, you can do a lot of shit with $15 million, even you can hire the best lawyers, you can build a real organization. So this is what we're doing.
That's great. Now, did you apply any of that capital to liquidity for the platform?
Sure, we have. So now you're bitten on, I'm sorry, I'm in French, so I'm speaking French to you. I'm saying hello. The market making activity of CryptalDash is extremely important, and we address that by first of all, having special relationships or onboarding as many market makers as we can on the platform. And that's important.
Gotcha.
So
yeah.
So of course we put some of that money into market making, etc. But the market making activity is a low revenue activity, right? So our main purpose here is to invest the money raised into building the project, not into making, you know, market making level of profits.
Gotcha. How many coins are on the exchange right now, man?
Oh God, there is probably around 15 coins.
Okay.
And then every week, basically, we're adding 5. So
gotcha.
yeah, we're just going, you know, bit by bit, so we can measure system performance, because low latency for us is extremely important. We're dealing with institutions, and we cannot be in a case where an order did not go through. Because if an order does not go through for Morgan Stanley, they will sue you for $100 million.
Yeah.
They're waiting for that.
Yeah,
Okay?
It's got to happen.
So,
it's got to happen.
It's got to happen, especially in this environment, which is not really regulated by any kind of trading law standards, etc. Okay, so they can go after you for non-execution of a contract.
Interesting. So, I mean, we're talking a little bit earlier before we hit the record button. You're talking about co-working space and employees. How many people are on your team right now, and what role do you serve? Are you the CEO, CFO, CTO?
Yeah. So, okay. So the problems when you start these type of projects is that you start with a base skill, and my base skill was to be an entrepreneur and to be a trade salesman. Okay. And then now I have to build an organization. So what we're doing right now, we are about 75 headcounts, and we are divided in varieties of departments. So we have around 20 people in dev. We have 18 people in marketing, or 20 people. And we have 2 or 3 other departments where we have groups of 5 people. So basically, this is kind of our headcount, and when we're scattered around the world. So we have teams in Japan, which is the dev. The dev support is in the Philippines. The marketing is mostly in the Philippines and in Europe. And we have some dev work on the blockchain stuff. You know, some research. The research stuff we try to do it with universities in the US, or trying to do something with Canada also. So anyways. So that's kind of our structure, and we're trying to, you know, we all work. Most of the teams are in co-working spaces, except for except for the team in the Philippines, who have their office and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Now, do you guys allow for any type of fiat trading going on, or fiat to crypto?
Yeah. So that's the purpose of our license in Gibraltar. So basically, which is good about Gibraltar is that once you get that license, you're entitled to sell and buy USD, British pound, and euro. So that's kind of cool, and that we'll basically introduce that within 2 months from now to 3 months, as soon as that license is
okay.
up. Yeah,
that's great. And it seems like you can sign up as a retail investor. I can go in and create an account and be trading on
surely.
And you don't have any concerns for the SEC or any type of, if I'm a U.S. retail investor and I sign up and I'm using USD to trade into crypto, you're not concerned at all right now with enforcement or regulators coming at you, even though you're in Gibraltar?
Yes, I'm always worried about that, because the regulator can come after you for varieties of reasons. The Gibraltar regulator could say, I do whatever the Gibraltar regulator says, okay? Because I'm regulated under him. So if he says it's okay, I go, it's okay. I'm just complying, man. I'm not making rules here, okay? So, so we try to do best practices. Now, in order to influence things a little bit, we initiated a World Operators of Crypto Exchange Association, which is based in Brussels, which is basically a lobbying group that will allow to influence policy in favor of what we do. And also, that will allow to develop best practices among exchanges. And that's, self-regulation is always a good alternative for regulation. And you can influence regulation when you're already self-regulated, when you start from a good base. So the main purpose of this association is really to act on the policy and to do a little bit of lobbying. Because the problem in the blockchain is that no one talks in the name of the crypto space. Okay, we're talking here to people that talk in the name of other people.
Right.
So if no one talks for you, then you're going to have a hard time developing anything positive. This is why I'm very surprised, to be frank with you, about the evolution, the favorable evolution that actually regulators and lawmakers have been, given the crypto space. Because a lot of people might see it as persecution, but given the level of effort that is given to defend the position of the people that are in the crypto space, they're giving them presents. If they were really against this thing, they would have shut it down. Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. That's absolutely true. What's the competitory landscape look like, and what makes you more what are your advantages towards your competitors?
Well, I think today for us we're completely taking a blue ocean strategy, because we want to address well a very important component of the segment, which is institutions. Okay, we want to cater to retail, but we don't want to compete over retail. For us, that's the waste of our resources, and that's something I don't know how to do in terms of competing for retail, to be frank with you. Unless, I meet some genius guy that is able to drive billions of users to my platform. I'd rather sell to 100 or 200 institutions. That's something I know how to do. That's something I know how to allocate the quality of resources towards. And if you look at it, if I do well in that segment, that's all I need. Okay.
Right. Right.
I mean, you need to understand that today, the institutions are going to add at least $1 trillion into the market cap.
Wow.
Because that's leveraged money.
Do you think, or is that just in Europe?
No, to the market cap of the crypto space.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Okay. So because think about it, most of institutions can get 5 times leverage. So what they're really putting in, allocating from real resources into this is only $200 billion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So what type of volume do you have right now? I went to.
No, right now we have very, very, very low volumes that are not interesting even for a retail investor. Okay, but we are at the stage where we're actually onboarding the institutions in terms of technology. So call me in a month and I'll tell you how much volume we have.
Okay. Man, that's exciting. That's super exciting. So when you say onboarding an institution, I mean, you're really we were talking about it earlier, how slow the process is and how arduous it is and how much paperwork is done. Are you meeting with them personally? Are you the main onboarder, or is that part of your team?
Yeah, so this is actually a part of the question that I wanted to answer earlier. So now I can't wait, and I've been doing it on and off, but most of my time I have a team that does onboarding, right? But institutional onboarding. But what I really like about all this business is trade against institutions or with institutions or enable institutions. Okay?
Yeah.
That's my core thing personally, as a human being. So so that's something I'm looking really forward to, man, because it's really something. So the process is very simple: is that you onboard in terms of legal stuff, legal paperwork, and once you get that onboarding done, then you do technological onboarding. So basically, you kind of connect the APIs, you look at the system that they're using, you try to have good integrations between both systems, both good reporting, the confirmations go on time, etc., and then you have the custodian component. So you make sure that they went through your custodian component and they see that there is a China wall between the custodian and the trading activity, etc., So it's a process.
Yeah, of course. And tell us a little bit about how the institutional sentiment is in Gibraltar or in Europe in general. Like what's it? Because in America it's still very shake you. And you're talking about banks. I mean, you have J.P. Morgan saying it's a fraud, it's a bubble, and then they go and buy some. It's very sort of kind of rocky over here in the States. Are banks and institutions or the government, are they really all in on this? And Europe, or what's your thoughts or your opinion?
Look, Europe today is at the level where things are open for debate, but where you are welcome to self-regulate.
Okay.
Okay. Because exactly. So this is the effort that we're doing with the World Crypto Exchange Operators Association is to really get the word out and to have the right regulation that will fit us. So basically, we will make that regulation. But for now, a lot of European countries are getting regulated or issuing clear statements. Malta, for example, Gibraltar, France is working on something. England, well, is basically they're waiting for Brexit with Gibraltar to kind of incorporate that segment into their economy, etc. etc. So you have a bunch of small plays, and that's cool. I mean, that's all I need, to be frank with you.
And you also have the ISO, or the International Standardization Organization, and they've been working on this for probably 3 years now. So that'll be interesting to see what they come out from a national or from an international global standpoint as to what they believe the standard should be and what they start to incorporate. Real quick, I want to get back to the ICO. You guys raised $15 million. Whatever digital asset you sold, is that a coin somewhere? What's the name of that coin or digital asset? Are people trading that actively, or?
Yeah, we have a bit of volume. I mean, a lot of the people that are on this project, they're really waiting for the institutional volume. This is why they got in to start with. Yes, but it's traded. It's on CryptalDash exchange. It's called CRD token. We have a volume. We have liquidity on it. I mean, it's something we're enabling for our coin. So it's we're the masters of liquidity. We can't have shitty liquidity on our own coin, can we? Yeah, I love these exchanges. They say, hey, we don't have a lot of liquidity on our coin. You're supposed to be the liquidity master.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, our business is liquidity. Okay, our business is really liquidity, and this is why we're targeting the big liquidity providers, which are institutions.
Right. Will your broker? I'm sorry. Will your exchange? Will you guys allow? Let me actually rephrase the question. How will you go about lending to an exchange or to another institution or another exchange to allow an institution to short a coin, or is that possible?
Anything is possible in this world, though. So let me get back to you on that. Okay.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. And on your particular platform, are you allowing any advanced orders? Are you also allowing leverage as well?
No leverage. We're launching the advanced orders. That's all. I mean,
gotcha.
No leverage for now.
No leverage for now. Any date on when that might be coming?
Yeah, coming with regulation, because leverage gives you another layer where they can trap you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to avoid that.
Yeah. So a kind of broad question, maybe just like a little bit of a fun one. So Amin, can you tell me what's your opinion on Bitcoin over the next like 3 to 6 years? Where do you think it goes? What does it look like? What happens with it? Is it dead? Does it continue to grow?
No, it's not dead. It's gonna grow, I think, because it's the entry point to a lot of people to go to this world. It has good credibility among the general, and it's a good point of entry, okay, to a lot of people. So I think it will maintain its value and will keep growing. Now, to what levels and what prices? We have crypto research, and I can ask them. They have research reports, and they can tell you. Okay.
I love it. Do you have a particular blockchain solution or coin that's your favorite, perhaps?
I think EOS is my favorite, to be frank with you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? Yes.
Yeah, we get that answer a lot, man. I mean, that's the EOS is going to be. I mean, Dan Lammer has put in so much work into that.
No, but it's my favorite if they deliver in 3-4 months. Okay, if they don't deliver by 3-4 months, it's not my favorite anymore.
Exactly.
Delivery.
It's all about delivery. Amen.
Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm struggling for. And by the way, I really have to run. I'm really enjoying this. I need to deliver, bro. So I gotta go.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was very nice talking to you guys.
Yep, likewise. Likewise. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it, man. You have a great rest of your afternoon. And
thank you. Thank you. Keep in touch. Cheers.
All right, my man.
Call me in a month to ask me about volume.
Will do.
Will do.
Yeah.
And let us know if you need any consultation over here in the North American markets. We can help you out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, my man. See ya.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yep.